Okay, the question today is why did I call Aaron Doughty an Illuminati stooge? The answer is okay. I have to go back way long time ago. Let's go with 15 years ago. I used to go and see someone who would channel the Ascended Masters. Usually, Sananda was the one that came through for the group. And that's where, well, I don't know if it was the first time I heard the word Illuminati, because when did I read that Dan Brown book about the Illuminati? I don't think Dan Brown's Illuminati is the same as Sananda's Illuminati. But basically, the information, and this was, like I say, 15 years ago, so it's not really fresh in my mind. But Sananda said not very much about the Illuminati. He kind of made fun of them. But the Illuminati, in my mind, are people, primarily the Earth elite, maybe like the 13 ruling families, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, etc. And is Aaron Doughty a willing dupe of the Illuminati? I'll come back to it. Okay, there's another story. Okay, in the Matrix movie, one of the characters was working for Morpheus. And he was on board the ship, the Nebuchadnezzar. And he sold them out to Agent Smith because he didn't really like the quality of life on board the Nebuchadnezzar. So the way it worked out was he sold out, and Agent Smith put him into our present day reality. Because I've mentioned this a few times, the Matrix movies aren't a sci-fi movie. They are a documentary on what planet Earth is all about today. So, who is that one? I can't remember the name of the character. But today, who that character is in our real matrix that we live in every day, it's the singer Pitbull. Pitbull. You go look it up. You got to go. I don't know if you can Google Pitbull and the Matrix movie, but that's who they say it is. So, moving along, what else do we want to talk about? I was going to talk about the 3 waves of volunteers, which is the Dolores Cannon story. It's also told by, which one of the Pleiadian authors was it? Barbara Marciniak, or anyway, there was this story of the 3 waves of volunteers who came to planet Earth after World War II to raise the vibration. And the early waves of the volunteers had an exceptionally hard time on planet Earth because it was full of very selfish people. And now, where the 3rd wave of volunteers are here, this would be Aaron Doughty's generation. And do they have it easy? Well, yes. Compared to the people who came after World War II, they have an incredibly easy time. Why? Because you have to understand that before 1987, the time of the harmonic, was it convergence or harmonic convergence? I think it was 1987. The collective consciousness of humanity was below 200 on the scale of human consciousness. So in essence, planet Earth was a hell world, because everything below 200 on the scale of consciousness is a negativity. After 87, for the first time ever, the collective consciousness of humanity popped up over 200. I think it was either 203 or maybe it got as high as 207. I don't know what it is now, but it's in a tremendously higher vibration than it was when the first people incarnated after World War II, say in the 1950s to 1960s. So that doesn't make the Aaron Dowdys of the world Illuminati. It just means that they have a much easier time because the collective is already at a higher level of vibration. And who did the heavy lifting? The first wave of volunteers did the really, really heavy lifting. So much trouble for those people who had very high vibrations and they had to come to a hell world. Dolores Cannon, in one of her videos, said a lot of the first generation of these star seeds that came to incarnate as human on the planet, a lot of them committed suicide because they couldn't handle it. And the other ones tried to not be too much involved with humans very much at all because they found it just so unpleasant. You know, a lifetime living with self-serving people. So the young ones that are, you know, YouTubers or whatever, they can read the same books that were always around, but they have the internet, and these things just weren't available for the first two waves of volunteers. So the first two waves of volunteers didn't even know these kind of missions. They didn't know why they were here. They didn't have good access to information. Really, really tough. So what makes people like Aaron Dowdy Illuminati Stooges? Well, if you look at the way they live, they travel around the world having a lovely time, going to lovely resorts. And what do they do for work? Oh, they just do YouTubes. That's all they do. In other words, they don't do real work. And I know Aaron Dowdy talks about how he used to be a shoe salesman. It's just the number of hits that people like Aaron Dowdy get on YouTube. Unbelievably high numbers of people are coming to his channel. That's the tip-off that he's an Illuminati stooge. Somebody is at YouTube, and YouTube is not friendly to high vibrational people. YouTube is run by the cabal, the business cabal. So if there are people who are getting enormous numbers of hits, enormous number of subscribers, someone is playing with the YouTube algorithm to get them that. I know, because I look at a lot of different people who commentate on YouTube, and I look to see how they do with their stats. And I'll leave it at that. The stats just don't lie. Some people get enormous numbers of followings, and some people don't. So how much sure am I that YouTube is rigged? 100% sure. 100% sure it is rigged. shadow bans people that I know who don't have, on Facebook, for example, they don't have a lot of friends, but their friends can't even talk to them. Shadow banned completely. And other people who are basically censored. Hi, like me. So, why would the Illuminati cabal want to have certain people get lots of hits on their educational channel, like Aaron Doughty's, for example? It's interesting that I cannot come up with a reason. What else is going on? It doesn't necessarily have to be done on the human level. It's got to be done on another plane where certain people are in league with the dark. I'm really letting that sit in. I cannot prove it to you. I can just read between the lines. I know other people like this. It's just like they're incredibly blessed with an easy lifetime. They end up with a job that pays them an incredible amount of money, and every time you look to see what they're doing, they got a day off and they're at the beach. Real light workers, in other words, people who are doing the heavy lifting of raising the consciousness on this planet, don't have easy lives. They don't. So if you see people who are living the life of a minor league movie star, it's a tip-off. There is something not so good about it. Is the quality of the information from Aaron Doughty good? You can get the same information that you get from him by going to basically any used bookstore and going to the metaphysical section. So is it bad? Is it good? It's just nothing special. What do you get from my channel that you don't get from Aaron Doughty? Aaron Doughty is really not plagued by demonics. Real light workers are plagued with demonic attacks. They are plagued with a lot of health issues because they are definitely dealing with demonic entities all the time. Nightmares. Feeling energies in the body where they're having to take an energy that feels just gross, and they have to, within the body, I mean, the body does it, but you feel it. The body is transmuting really disgusting, icky, horrible feelings that the body has picked up. Does Aaron Doughty do that? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. So I'm going to tell you, somewhere along the lines, he's in league with the dark. I've taken courses from some of these kind of people that are like Aaron. And they give you all the same information, but in the end, they want to give you a hook. And the hook is you use this stuff, and then what you want to do is, I was going to say entrap, but it's a business proposition. So you're going to get new people and give them, this kinds of information, give them seminars, but you're going to charge them a lot of money. Aaron Doughty doesn't charge you money on his YouTube channel. He has a few little things. Does it mean that? It means I don't know him well enough to tell you. But he's got enough money coming in that he lives a really nice lifestyle. Yes, indeed, the goal of going to a higher vibration is to bring the whole planet up to a beautiful place. The goal right now is not to make it your personal utopia, while there's all kinds of horrible going on in the world. And that's another tip-off. If you're a real light worker, you're not living the life of a movie star. You're pretty much a humble person. You don't have fancy cars, fancy places to live, and you're not traveling the world going to beautiful places. And I know there's a lot of commentators that are on YouTube that do tour the world, a lot of the younger people. What does it mean? It means that they don't have a good vision for the world. Their vision is, I'm going to use these metaphysical techniques for me, to make my life better. So they're not, they say they're for other people, follow me and you'll do well too. But that's not really what they're all about. They're primarily about, I'm going to do what I'm going to do so that I live the high life. It's a form of spiritual bypassing. And I've seen this with a lot of science of mind people. Science of mind people use these metaphysical techniques to improve themselves, to get themselves a new car, a new house, everything nice for me. I'm going to go and retire in Costa Rica, one of the people that I knew. And anytime I wanted to talk to them about, the not so pleasant things that are going on planet Earth, it's, don't talk to me about negativity. Don't talk to me about anything horrible, nothing. I don't want to hear about it. You're a fun sponge, is what they would say to me. And then they would block me. It's spiritual bypassing, which is closing your eyes to the plight of all the rest of the people on the planet. So these kind of people, like Aaron Doughty, are not leaders. They're not. I mean, granted, he's young and he's pretty to look at. And that's going to get him people, that really don't care what he's saying, but they just, every once in a while he'll go take a shirt off and, go for a shower or something. So, he's acting like a porn star. If I took my shirt off right now, you'd probably never watch my channel again. But the whole point of it is the real leaders of the planet today are not engorging themselves on everything they can get. They have a different kind of vision. And it's a vision to bring everyone on the planet to the fifth dimension. And not to take a shortcut and go there first, and enjoy your life, while there's a lot of people that are having a very hard time. So people that are doing light worker jobs, generally speaking, are not doing things for the money. They're generally going to be like working class people. They're going to be doing hard jobs that don't pay very well. But there are a lot of jobs where they're looking after the less fortunate. So people who are doing things like, looking after people in nursing homes. Poor pay, very physical job, and, you're cleaning up people after they pooped in their diapers. Those are the real kind of people who are not in it for themselves. That's how you can tell. So if you see somebody driving around in a Lamborghini And, they're talking the talk. A lot of these people are all about the money too. They're into like cryptocurrencies. This is like their big thing. They see somehow cryptocurrencies are spiritual. No, no. It's all about you making lots of money so you can rise to the top of the Illuminati pyramid. That's what they're all about. And there's a shitload of these kind of people, and they're shitty people. They're shitty people. They don't give a rat's ass about anybody but themselves. Service to self is what they're called these days, if you follow, like Law of One or whatever. Service to self people. So, in the end, what can I tell you? Is it worth watching Aaron Doughty on TV? I've watched quite a number of his videos. Do I really get anything out of there that I don't get somewhere else? Well, if you're brand new and you want to get an introduction to a lot of different ideas, don't go to Aaron Doughty. Don't. He's too young. He doesn't really understand what this planet is all about and what's going on. He's had it easy, and the stuff he teaches you, it ain't going to help you. Because you're not Illuminati. If you follow his pattern, are you going to make enough money off of YouTube, monetize so that you can, tour around and live? No, you're not. You're not. But if you do, then you proved me wrong. But what is he teaching that's so good or so bad? Okay, I'll give you like a hint. If I do like 20 minutes of silent meditation, I've done more for the planet than half an hour of Aaron Doughty flapping his gums. Because all of the bullshit that you hear from the commentators on YouTube or even a lot of books is all about you talking and saying mantras or affirmations, and it don't do nothing. It don't work. So if someone is saying, well, I do these affirmations and look at my wonderful life, they're with the dark. Why is that? It's because inner silence raises the vibration of everyone. Because when you're talking, you're acting like a monkey. Monkeys make these noises. Parrots talk. Mynah birds talk. What would you do if you trained your mynah bird to give positive affirmations about itself? What's going to happen to the mynah bird? What do you think's going to happen to the mynah bird? It's still going to be a mynah bird that talks. Is it going to end up living in the Taj Mahal? No. But you try it. You train a parrot or a mynah bird to do positive affirmations about itself and see what happens. Prove me wrong. Inner silence is what you want. You don't want guided meditations. Guided meditations are bullshit. Because I was just reading up a reason why Joel S. Goldsmith in one of his textbooks, and he was a teacher back in the 1950s. Okay, where did he get his information from? It came from spirit to him. It wasn't like he got out a whole bunch of books out of the library and then he made crib notes out of them. No, he got his information directly from spirit back in the 50s. And what he said was, all of these kind of affirmations that you're doing are actually you convincing yourself that your mind is stronger than spirit. And pretty much what he said was all of these verbal prayers, the one I just saw was a prayer of protection. Someone said before they were going on a trip, I'm going to go and do all these prayers of protections so that I don't get hit by a drunk driver. And what happened? He got in an accident with a drunk driver. And Goldsmith said, it's because you created the accident with all of your mind gibberish. Goldsmith says, your key thing to do is to know you already have. You are already an extension of the Great Spirit. You're already connected to it. So if you start using your monkey mind, which is mostly what humans use from day to day, to try and prevent problems, you're going to create them. The best thing, and the way that Joel Goldsmith did all of his healings, it wasn't to do anything other than to sit in a wooden chair and shut up. In other words, he didn't do mantras, he didn't do affirmations, he sat in quiet meditation for as long as it took before he felt something within himself. And it was like, he called it like a click. And then he knew that he'd done enough meditation, silent meditation. That's all he needed to do. And once he just got the feeling and got this knowing that he did enough, then spirit would do the thing. Did it have to happen? It was just Goldsmith's way. I don't think these healings had to go that way, but the key to it is he wasn't flapping his gums doing affirmations and reading a bunch of books that you can get in a used bookstore. Quiet meditation is how you raise vibration, because you are already connected to everything that exists. So you don't have to talk about it. You're already it. Does Aaron Doughty teach you that? No. It's all kinds of bullshit that he reads out of all these mumbo jumbo. He watches other videos and he picks up all these books. It's garbage. And look how successful he is. Anybody would say, well, if it's successful, it works. Well, you try it. I've been around a long time and I've done these different things. And I know it resonates with me. And Joel Goldsmith resonates with me. Don Juan Matus resonates with me. These people are about inner silence, a Zen master, inner silence, quietening down the monkey mind, not, feeding it with bullshit and then telling it to just, keep repeating. So that's your story. You can go with Aaron Doughty, the Mina Bird, or you can go with inner silence. Inner silence probably is not going to get you the rich life that Aaron Doughty has, being an Illuminati Stooge. Because, as I said, YouTube is run by the dark, the cabal. And if you're picked by it, maybe he's not even conscious that he's in league with it. Maybe they're just using him as a disinformation platform to put out all kinds of stuff, so much stuff. It's like Dr. Oz on TV. I don't know if he's still on TV, but every day he would be on like his own show, and I think he was with Ellen before. And every day he's not a doctor. Every day it's a new thing. He's a salesman. And whoever sponsored the show for the day, he's going to endorse it. Does it work? Fuck, it doesn't work. Dr. Oz is a jackass. And he's a Illuminati stooge because he's very wealthy and he's on national TV. Would I ever? No. I wouldn't send my worst enemy to go and see Dr. Oz for medical treatment. He is a fraud. Why is he a fraud? Because every day somebody new comes on his show and he endorses it as being something good for you. He's all about the money. Goji berries. Are you going to go and find me a bunch of scientific literature that says, goji berries or something is, really going to do something for you? So that's the end of my talk on Illuminati Stooges. Don't be an Illuminati stooge. In other words, don't close your eyes to the fact that there are real people on the planet who are going through a really hard time. Are you supposed to help them? Go to inner silence. Maybe you need a side job to get some money and you want to help these people. That's the way that spirit brings you, then go with it. Inner silence. Because you're already what you're seeking. You're already what you're seeking before you even started your seeking. So just be quietly in what you already are and let the Great Spirit decide what's going to happen instead of you trying to bypass it in a shortcut for a get-rich-quick deal.